Welcome back. It's time now for Media Watch. Olivia joins us. It's International Women's Day. How's that going?
Well, it's going very well on the internet. Traditionally a place for campaigning for equal women's rights on International Women's Day. It obviously doesn't make for sometimes makes for quite depressing reading in terms of the issues they're campaigning around. Generally, gender equality and the difficulties that women face. The Guardian starts off with a few cartoons, taking a bit of a lighter look at some of the big issues. The first one's 3 Nobel Prize winners who have to share one prize between 3 women, and what they're suggesting is that a man would never have to share that. There's also the particular cross that many women have to bear in developing countries, and some of the hardships of the institution of marriage for women. I mean, there's been a huge Twitter campaign today as well with the hashtag IWD, trying to raise awareness and also educate people about these real inequalities. We've got some information about agricultural status of women in Africa. We've got a tweet here from the Bill Gates Foundation, actually, that says women produce 80% of the food in Africa, but they only own 1% of the land. And then the usual statistics, 72% of the world's refugees are women and children. And inequality in the boardroom, 9% of the world's CEOs are women, 21% in senior management. So it all makes for pretty depressive reading. But The Guardian, actually, and The Economist today have taken a more positive look at where progress is being made. The Economist published a report today about where it is best to be a woman, where you have equal opportunities. And obviously you've got Scandinavian countries at the top of that list. But you've also got female achievement in places that you wouldn't expect it. The Guardian's done a case study here. You've got an interactive map of all the countries where they've highlighted female achievement. And in the Chinese case study, there's this really interesting statistic that of the 10 wealthiest self-made billionaires, female billionaires, 7 out of 10 are Chinese. And China's the country with the highest female employment rate. 70% of Chinese women are in employment. So things are looking good in certain areas where you might not have expected them to. And I thought I'd finish with something a bit funnier. Slate has decided to mark their contribution to International Women's Day by choosing the top 10 lady products. We've got a pink biro for women. I mean, this is what's called gendered marketing, when companies try to make something for a woman or for a man just to attract a new audience. You've got a pink laptop, mobile phone, you've got pink wine, a GPS system just for women, a toothbrush. I mean, it's really quite ridiculous.
What's next?
Obama, back on the campaign trail in the US. Today, the Democrats launched a preview, let's call it, of the Democrats' documentary that they commissioned to show the first 4 years in office of Obama. Now, it's really a film that will highlight the achievements of the administration. Obviously, it's a big communication operation for them. And the film was directed by Davis Guggenheim, who also directed Al Gore's film, the documentary about climate change, An Inconvenient Truth, which was very, very successful. So, I mean, it's a logical step for the Democrats to use the internet and also to use film as a communicative method. But what I found interesting about this trailer is its style. The way it's filmed, I mean, it's very, very, very slick. It's narrated by Tom Hanks. You recognise his voice instantly. And he takes the tone of the real action movie trailer voiceover. The montage goes from black and white shots of the early days in the White House to Obama overcoming the economic hardship that the country's seen. And it also flags up the death of Osama bin Laden. I think we can, when you take a look at it, it really does feel like a big Hollywood production. Perhaps we can take a look at a short extract with some sound bites.
The president-elect is here in Chicago, and he's named the members of the economic team, and they all fly in for the first big briefing on the economy.
Which urgent need would he put first?
Which is 1, which is 2, which is 3, which is 4, which is 5? Where do you start?
If we don't do this now, it will be a generation before 30 million people have health insurance.
It is an election year, isn't it?
Indeed. Well, in the US and in France as well.
Olivia, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.
Stay with us, short break, then we're back with more of the day's news.